So I wanted to do a quick live because there's a lot of fan bases out there talking shit. Of course, you got the usual AFC North goofballs that are hating on Pittsburgh because it is what it is. We're division rivals. Of course, division rivals are going to hate regardless. But got a lot of haters outside this division saying Pittsburgh's done. Pittsburgh has Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback. Pittsburgh got Mason Rudolph at quarterback. They got no chance in the world. Cleveland's so good. What about Baltimore? What about Cincinnati? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm tired of the Cleveland hype. We've been hearing the Cleveland hype for the past 3 years. So don't even come at me with Cleveland when they got a quarterback who's literally going to be suspended for at least half the year and is still facing 22 allegations of sexual assault in civil court. But hey, hey, Cleveland's going to break the bank and give that dude $250 million. But the point is, all these other fan bases hating on the fact that we're done. We have no chance because we have Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback or Mason Rudolph at quarterback. But at the end of the day, it's an improvement at quarterback, no matter how you look at it. Hell, you could put Andy Dalton out there and it's an improvement in quarterback. You could put freaking Case Keenum out there and it's improvement in quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger was a shot quarterback. Did I really bash him this year? No, because I knew it was last year. Ben did everything for this franchise, put a lot of seasons on his back for this franchise, and is the in my opinion, the greatest Steelers quarterback ever. Some people might say Terry Bradshaw, and they have a case. I mean, Terry Bradshaw's won two. I think he's won a season MVP, Super Bowl MVP. He's won 4 Super Bowls. Ben was a great quarterback, but after that elbow surgery, Ben could not throw the ball down the field at all. He could not stretch the field, and especially in Matt Canada's offense, a run and gun offense, you're trying to stretch the field. You're operating out of the shotgun. You want to throw the ball down the field. And another thing, Ben, he would refuse to play under center. He was so used to playing a spread offense for years and years and years in his career, and he completely had to transition his game. Some of Matt Canada's offenses ran on from under center, and Ben just did not have the mobility. Not only did he not have the ability to stretch the field, he did not have the mobility to play under center, get in those play action bootlegs, roll out, extend the play like he used to. Ben was a statue in the pocket, could not throw the ball down the field, and was scared to get hit in the pocket. You could tell many times he was just not that young 28-year-old quarterback anymore that's willing to throw linebackers and defensive linemen off his back. He just wasn't that quarterback. He was scared in the pocket, and he couldn't move, couldn't throw down the ball down the field, and it limited the Pittsburgh Steelers offense tremendously. So yeah, does Ben have a lot more know-how, maybe a little bit more accuracy? Can he read defenses play better than Trubisky and Mason Rudolph? Can he make checks at the line better than Trubisky and Mason Rudolph? Yeah, but Mason Rudolph and Trubisky, all they got to go do is go in there and manage the game. And Mason Rudolph and Mitchell Trubisky especially, has way more mobility than Ben Roethlisberger. And the biggest problem last year wasn't just Ben. It was the offensive line wasn't giving Najee Harris any holes, wasn't giving Ben any time in the pocket. So I don't care who we roll out there at quarterback. They're going to actually be able to throw the ball down the field. The defense is going to have to respect the fact that those quarterbacks are able to throw the ball down the field, and they're not going to be able to stack the box. And it's going to open up everything for the new future face of the offense, the new best player on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and the new go-to guy on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and that's Najee Harris. We are going to ride Najee Harris into the playoffs this season. You can mark it down. But you can bookmark it. I don't care what Cleveland's doing. I don't care what Cincy's doing. Looking at our schedule, Pittsburgh can easily win 9 to 10 games and get into the playoffs. So all these people talking down on Mitchell Trubisky, talking down on Mason Rudolph, saying Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback. We didn't have a quarterback we haven't had a quarterback the past 2 seasons when we've been able to win. Ben has not been able to throw for over 4,000 yards the past 2 seasons. and we're still able to get in the playoffs. Now we have, I don't care who it is, like I said, Mason, Trubisky, two quarterbacks that can stretch the field. Trubisky is a quarterback with mobility. You can put in read options with Mitchell Trubisky. You can do a lot of different things on offense with Mitchell Trubisky under center that's going to help this run game out. That's starting to turn it around for Pittsburgh. It wasn't great last year, but it is in the direction. It is starting to turn around. There is improvements being seen in the run game for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. We added Daniels from the Chicago Bears, who some say is a Pro Bowl caliber guard. We added a lot of depth to that offensive line, which was Pittsburgh's biggest weakness last year. It had three rookies starting on the offensive line: Kendrick Green, Dan Moore. I apologize. Two rookies and a second-year player, in Doxton playing on that offensive line. So we have Dan Moore with one more year experience under his belt, Kendrick Green, who's probably going to get replaced and be a backup guard this season, with Daniels, who is a Pro Bowl caliber guard veteran, who's a big boy that's going to move bodies out there and open up holes for Najee Harris. So really, you say we don't have a quarterback. All these people saying Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback. We have an improvement at the quarterback position. We have an improvement. We have improvements all over the offensive line. And defensively, we added Miles Jack. That was one of our biggest issues last year, was the inside linebacker position. Devin Bush was out of position all season long, missing easy tackles, missing easy coverages. Devin Bush played terrible last year. And Miles Jack has one of the highest tackling percentages in the league when it comes to making tackles. His tackle percentage is one of the best in the NFL according to PFF. Miles Jack makes plays when he needs to make plays. If you're running in Miles Jack's lane, he's going to meet you man on man. He's going to put a body on you. He's not going to be completely out of position like Devin Bush. And with the addition to Brian Flores, who is a defensive mastermind and now the linebackers coach and defensive assistant, hopefully he's going to be in Devin Bush's ear, and we're going to see much more improvement from Devin Bush. And that's what we need. And if Stephon Tuitt comes back healthy, that's a huge contract that was out for the entire season, and Pittsburgh was getting gashed in the run game. And if there's one thing that big 300-pound defensive end Stephon Tuitt does better than most defensive ends in the NFL, it's clog those running lanes. And that's what 3-4 defensive ends are supposed to do, is clog those running lanes. And not only is he a monster, a bear, and a beast at clogging those running lanes, that boy can get after the quarterback too. The season before he got hurt, he had a double-digit sack season. So we got Stephon Tuitt coming back, and Pittsburgh's going to add quality depth in the draft like they always do. I mean, we had 4 rookies starting this season. 4-rookie season. It was giving us quality reps. Pat Freiermuth, Najee Harris, Loudermilk on the defensive side of the ball, and Green, who was starting at the offensive line the entire season long. So we're just going to add more depth through the draft to this team. Deontay Johnson's only going to get better. Chase Claypool's only going to get better. Pat Freiermuth's only going to get better. Najee Harris is only going to get better. Doxton's only going to get better. Green's only going to get better. Moore's only going to get better. So we're seeing a ton of improvements to the offensive line, an improvement to the quarterback position, and a defense that's going to come back healthy with a lot more depth on defense. And probably some talent on offense. They might even go wide receiver in the first round to give Trubisky one more target to throw to. I wouldn't mind that. Williams out of Alabama at wide receiver for the first round. Then you got Johnson, Claypool, and then Williams out of Alabama with Najee Harris in the backfield, Pat Freiermuth, Zach Gentry. Come on. And an upgraded offensive line. Mitch Trubisky is an improvement at the quarterback position. Mason Rudolph is an improvement at the quarterback position. And we have a young offense that's only going to get better. The sky is the limit. Matt Canada is going to have freedom to do what he wants, to run the offense that he's going to want to run, because Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph are going to be game managers. They're going to be taking the calls directly from Canada, and they're going to have to run Canada's offense. If they have to be under center, they're going to have to be under center. If they're going to have to be out of the shotgun, they're going to have to be out of the shotgun. That was one of the problems with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben was great, but he felt that he could do no wrong. He felt that he should have complete control of the offense, call all his plays, run out of the shotgun, 5 wide formations on first down for Ben Roethlisberger. There ain't going to be no more of that 5 wide. It's going to be 3. It's going to be a lot of single back trip sets for Matt Canada, with Najee Harris getting the ball out of the backfield, few bubble screens, nice, easy completions, because that's all Ben was doing the past 2 years, was nice little easy bubble screens, nice little easy completions, routine completions over the middle. That's all he was doing. But when it comes to throwing the ball down the field, Ben could not do it. He has a noodle for an arm. His elbow was shot. Now we have a quarterback that's going to have to keep the defense honest. I don't care who it is out there, Mason, Trubisky. We're going to be keeping the defense honest, and we're going to be running it down teams' throats all season long. And Pittsburgh's going to do what they do and have the best defense in the AFC North next year. And them are the facts. Them are the facts. It's not even that Trubisky's the answer. He's not even the answer. You could say Trubisky's the answer. I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm not saying he's a franchise quarterback. I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowl quarterback. I'm saying he's an improvement at quarterback over Ben Roethlisberger. He is an upgrade at the quarterback position, and we have upgrades at the offensive line position, and we're going to have upgrades all over this team, and we were able to still make the playoffs last year. Cleveland, it's going to be nothing but a circus show. You're going to have the Baker Mayfield circus. You're going to have the Deshaun Watson circus. And Baltimore, they're having troubles getting a deal done with their MVP quarterback. They can't even come to grips with the fact that they're going to have to pay Lamar Jackson $40 million a year, $35 million a year. They don't want to come to terms with that. They don't want to come off that. So that's going to be another circus right there in Baltimore. That's all they're talking about right now in Baltimore, is when are they going to pay their MVP quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who's put that team on his back the past, 3-4 seasons. It's took them to the playoffs every game except last season. I mean, so they're dealing with that circus, and they really don't got too many great wide receivers. Their running game's all right. Their offensive line is not that great. And their defense will be their defense, obviously. But they had a ton of injuries on defense, and it's getting older. So we'll see what the Baltimore defense can do. Cincy is the one team I'm worried about. I can't lie. They made a lot of good additions in the offseason. Joe Burrow, I think, is the truth. And they have weapons. Their weapons are outrageous. So since he's going to be tough, and their defense, I'd say overachieved last year. We'll see if it's real or if it's not real this year, how well the Cincinnati defense plays this year. We'll find out when Najee Harris is running up the middle on them this year, because that's what the offense is going to be built around, is Najee Harris, Chase Claypool going deep, and Deontay Johnson making plays with the ball in his hands. And I think Pittsburgh will be back at it. They'll be right in contention for a playoff berth, right in contention for the AFC North title, and probably be in the playoffs next year. So to sit there and say we're not going to make the playoffs because of Mitchell Trubisky or Mason Rudolph and we don't have a quarterback, well, I say we have an improvement in quarterback, and Pittsburgh's going to keep on winning. Mike Tomlin's going to just do what he does and continue on his legendary Hall of Fame path to Canton, and get this team to the playoffs and hopefully win a Super Bowl. Here we go, baby. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. All right, Bob Sampson. Now let's see what y'all got to say. Spider, sup? Y'all should give Haskins a chance. No, Haskins is not even going to make the team. Haskins is probably going to get cut. We're probably going to draft a quarterback, and Haskins won't even be on the team. How are you doing today? I'm good, Awesomeness. Shout out to Awesomeness Sports. Trubisky says we can win 9 or 10 games. Do you think your team is going to win a playoff game, Jens? That's a good question. Are we going to win a playoff game? That's the biggest shit. Biggest Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since 2017. 3-8. His last 11 playoff games. I know there's a Cleveland ball-headed no-tooth Cleveland Browns fan that loves to point that out over and over and over. Every single one of his videos, Tomlin's 3-8 in his last playoff games. Well, guess what, Cleveland? You're 1-1 in the last 20 years. You're 1-1 in the last 20 years. All right. So those three wins Tomlin has, that's more than your whole franchise has in the past 35 years. Okay, Cleveland? In the past 35 years, Tomlin has more playoff wins than you. All right. So you could talk about that 3-8 all you want. Well, those 3 wins is more than 35 years of your fucking garbage pail franchise has ever been able to produce. So yeah, I think we can win a playoff game, especially if we play Cleveland. Awesomeness. As Cleveland sneaks in there on a wild card, I think we'll smash their asses wide open. Yins Nation sellout. Talk about your Cleveland Browns frauds. There you go. Talking about Cleveland. Lamar's better than any quarterback you have. Lamar isn't a quarterback. Lamar is basically just a running back disguised as a quarterback. You're the circus, Yins Nation. Oh, there's going to be a big circus in Cleveland there. Squillers are going to miss the playoffs. We can win a Steelers a Super Bowl. You're a clown, laughing my ass off. Y'all lose to Cleveland again, clown. Well, we swept Cleveland actually this year. We swept Baltimore the past 2 years. Since he's had our number, and now it's time to figure out Cincy. It's time to get Stephon Tuitt back. It's time for Alex Highsmith now to step up. He's had a full season as a starter. I think he had 6 sacks last year. Now it's time to get him up in that double-digit sack figures coming into his 3rd year. I could see a possible double-digit sack season coming out of Alex Highsmith, a double-digit sack season coming out of Cam Hayward. TJ Watt just put out a tweet yesterday saying he's a man on a mission. So damn well, even though TJ Watt's got the largest contract in the history of all histories of NFL history for a defensive player, he's going to come back determined, hungrier than ever to not only tie that record, he's going to set that record and stand alone as the all-time single-season sack leader. I could see that type of season coming out of TJ Watt. I could see a Kilo Witherspoon, who we got for a 5th-round pick from the Seattle Seahawks, who per PFF, who Brandon Rodgers loves so much. PFF is one of the highest rated coverage corners in the NFL, according to PFF. He's going to step up in his new role with this defense, and we're going to add some depth to that secondary, probably some depth to that defensive line. And I love our linebackers: Mal Jack, TJ Watt, Highsmith, Devin Bush. Come on, those are some linebackers there, boy. Cam Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, and hopefully find a new nose tackle. Hopefully Jordan Davis out of Georgia. That would be great. But so yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit of a rant up here because there's a lot of haters, a lot of people hating, saying Pittsburgh ain't going nowhere because they don't have a quarterback. But like I said, Trubisky, Mason, that's an update. That's an upgraded quarterback, and I ain't sweating it, baby. We're going to see. It's going to be the best Steelers offense we've seen in like 4 or 5 years out of Pittsburgh. And I think that defense is going to come back stronger than ever, baby. So keep hating on Pittsburgh. Keep counting Pittsburgh out. And the fans, Vegas, ESPN analysts, Fox Sports analysts, I love it. You've been hating on us the past 3-4 years. And Pittsburgh plays better as an underdog. I like that underdog mentality. Please keep putting Pittsburgh at a subpar standard when we all know in reality that Pittsburgh sets the standard for the rest of the NFL, that they wish the likes of Cleveland and other franchises only wish and have wet dreams about living up to. So